You have finished formatting your ebook. Now it is time to import it into Kindle Create and then upload it to Amazon. I am Lady V, and welcome back to the Writer's Workshop. Let's dive in. Now that your document is complete and ready for the next steps, we are going to make sure that our file is exported as either a doc or a docx. I'm going to just go ahead and make sure I have it as a doc, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. From here, our little doc here, we're going to make sure that we have Kindle Create downloaded. If you do not have Kindle Create, go ahead and pause this video, download it to your computer, and then come back. But it does help uploading your manuscript to ebook and Amazon and making it a lot easier. So once you have Kindle Create downloaded and open, we're going to create a new document. And since we're doing a ebook today, we're going to go with reflowable. Continue. Go ahead and enter your book title and author name. Up in Flames and by Alice Brown. Now, if you have your own publishing company, you are publishing with a publisher, you would fill this in. However, we're just going to go with indie publishing, self-publishing as ourselves. We have our little files here, and we saved as a doc. So my original one was a docx. I saved as a doc. And we'll go ahead and open that and import it into Kindle Create. This will take just a few minutes to upload your manuscript and make it ready to be able to format it within Kindle. Import successful. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK, get started. Now going through and having already added our table of contents did make this a bit easier for the fact that it can recognize that we have a table of contents. We're just going to make sure that it has everything in here that we like. Yes. If there were any places that you did not want it to have in your table of contents, you could simply just select these and they would not be added to the table of contents within your ebook. However, I like the fact that they'll have a nice place where you can go straight back to the main title. We've got the also by, table of contents, our entire table of contents here that we added, along with about the author and coming soon. So I like the way things look, and I'm going to hit accept selected. From here, we have the ability to dress things up a little bit more. So I'm going to highlight. I tend to prefer formatting in the style of Berkeley. I'm going to bold and italicize. That's just my preferred. I like that look. You can very much change your formats. You can even change certain words for different formats, your size of your lettering. However, I like where it's at. The few changes I do want to make is I want to have my title page on its own page by itself. So I'm going to drop it down some so it'll be more centered and remove these. Nice thing is you can come over here to preview, and this is going to give you a digital preview of your manuscript in ebook form. So you can adjust as needed. Currently I have it on a tablet. You can do vertical or horizontal. Horizontal is going to be a little bit different, so you might want to check these formats on all and make sure that you like them. I have option of viewing it on phone, which I know a lot of people read on their phones these days, so definitely make sure your format looks good on the phone, and of course the classic Kindle e-reader. Alright, so I do want to make some changes here because as we were looking at it, I think it was on tablet, we saw that the title page was actually on 2, so I'm going to come back here and bump it back up 2. Let me see what that looks like. It still does not have Alice's name on the front page. Play around with this a couple times until it gets to the format that you like. Okay, it's not going to be directly in the center, but I can live with that. For this version, I will move the copyright down, however. I do want the copyright to be on its own page. I'm very happy with where the copyright is now sitting. All right, we're going to go to the also by and move the Dear Reader to the next page as well. I will clean that up real quick. I'm actually going to bring it back 1. Just play around with this until you find a format that you like. Switch to ePhone or to phone. Okay, that's looking good. All right, let's go ahead and move down a couple pages. I want the Dear Reader on its own page. Down one more. Should put it in the center. Yes. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, and then we're going to go to Table of Contents. That's looking good. Yep. Okay, and our chapters. So when you start getting into your chapters, you can do some decorating here. You have the ability to go through and do a drop cap, change your indentations, really play with things. So indentations are currently at 10. If we wanted to, we can move that. I usually keep mine in the center. Of course, if you wanted to apply a drop cap, you could play with that on how it works. If you apply a drop cap, you will have to go through it and put that on all of them, but I do not, so I'm going to leave it as is. Alright, so just kind of go through here and glance over, make sure everything is where you want it to be. The main manuscript is looking good. I'm very happy with this layout. We did most of the work in our Word document anyway, so there isn't really a lot that Kindle had to do here. She's looking good. Come on down to the bottom. We're going to want to do some adjusting here. Okay, so I want the About the Author picture to go with About the Authors. So I need this come down on its own page, and I'm going to change this to be in the center, bold and italicized. Let's go see what it looks like as a preview. Yep, got it on its own page. Great, and then coming soon. Wonderful. That looks beautiful. Again, let's check the phone. Oop, nope, don't want that much space there. Okay, I will clean that up real quick. Looking better. Okay, it's about center where our chapter headings start. Double click here. Nope, need to bump down one more. Perfect. Okay, once you're happy with the layout of your manuscript, it is time to save, and for now I'm just going to be putting everything on my desktop. I'm going to save, and then we can go ahead and export as well. I'm going to go ahead and get myself both of these files just so I have them on hand. I like to have both. This way, if I need anything for beta readers and myself to go over and I want to make some edits like on my own tablet, I can do so. I'm going to export that, save it to my desktop. And from here, we are ready to go to Kindle Direct Publishing. You could either just show this in File, Close, or click here if you were ready to go ahead and move on to your uploading process. I am ready to move on to the uploading process, so I'm going to go ahead and click Kindle Direct Publishing. So clicking on that link, it will automatically bring up your web browser and open it up to your Kindle Direct Publishing page. If you do not have an Amazon author page already set up before this, I would take the time to do that. Go ahead and set up your author page, then come back to this video and finish this process. Now, if you, for whatever reason, you did not click on the Kindle Direct Publishing book and you wanted to come back to this later, you would simply go to your Amazon page that your author account is on, scroll all the way down to the bottom until you find Kindle Direct Publishing. That would open you up to the same page as this. Now that we're on our Amazon publishing page, we are going to click on Create a New Title or Series. This is the same button you would click on if you were adding into another series that you already had going on. Come on down here, we have our options of ebook, paperback, hardcover, and they will even help you build a series page. So we are going with ebook, because that is what we're working on right now. Instructions are pretty straightforward once you start this process. So we're going to have the book title, any subtitles, which you could put your series name here. I am going to. Right. If your book is a standalone or you do not have a series going yet for it, you could avoid this. However, if you are adding to a series or you know that this book is going to be part of a series, you would click series and either new or existing series and follow the instructions for that. For today's video, we're just going to go through the process of uploading a regular book. Edition number. You don't really need to worry about this unless this is a book that has been previously listed in another format. It could have been in an anthology with somebody else's work. It could be one that you wrote once before and you've taken it down and have made significant changes to. There you would put edition number. However, we're not going to go through that with this one. Author name. Again, this is very straightforward. If you have other people who are contributors to your work, so like if we were working on our Dragons of Dragonos series, which is both Alice and I would put one of our names here, have another author here, and then the author's name here. You could also add editors, foreword, illustrator, introduction, narrator, paragrapher, or photographer, preface, and translator. But for this one, we're just going with Alice here. Your book's description. You definitely want to fill this out with a very good, captivating description. I love Alice for this because she always makes sure that I have a file I can go to that has all the descriptions in it. So here we are, blurb for Texas Vampire Rangers 1. She is so loving. She always makes sure I have that ready to go when I'm ready to work on formatting and uploading. For here, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. I'm going to add a space between the paragraphs just so it's not so bunched together. You could also go through here and kind of dress it up a little bit. Like if you wanted to emphasize Texas Rangers, you could go through and bold, italicize, underline, all that good stuff. Play around with it until you like the way it looks. Again, the next few questions are pretty straightforward. Publishing rights. I do own the rights, or Alice owns the rights. I'm just the one that uploads it, so I can go ahead and hit that she does have the rights. Primary audience. No, I don't need to fill this in. Categories. This is going to be a big one. Categories for your ebook are going to help readers know what category your book is in. It's going to help Amazon and Kindle market your book to other categories and readers who are in those categories. So take the time to play around with a few of these. Most of the time I stick with romance and science fiction and fantasy, but again, find the ones that fit you. I could easily also put this one under suspense because it is more of a romantic suspense. So just for the sake of this, we're going to follow this. Ooh, lucky, we got a paranormal one. They do update these occasionally, so I would go through and check them occasionally. You are allowed up to 3 categories, so definitely use those to your advantage. I like the fact that we were able to go under mystery and suspense for this one, but I do want to also tap into the romance as well. I'm going to go with, do I want paranormal romance or romantic suspense? I already did romantic suspense, so I'm going to go with paranormal. And here I can click vampires, right? And one more. This will not allow you to do the same one twice. So like if I wanted to go through and try to do that vampire one again, I could not. Fantasy, paranormal, and urban, and I'm going to go with paranormal. So as you can see here, we have our 3 categories under Kindle books. I'm very happy with these. If by chance you're not happy with one of them, you would just simply hit remove, and you can always come through and update these later if you need to find a different avenue or a different category that best suits your book. You can always come back to your books page and change that. Keywords. This is just as crucial as your categories. These are going to be pretty much the SEO words for your book. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out a couple of these. You don't have to use all 7 of them, though I do find that using 7 is great because that's more words that you get to use for your books. So I'm going to do paranormal romance, vampire romance, vampires, oops, fingers are stuttering today, and romantic suspense. And I'm just going to leave it with those for today. Alright, last one on this page is if you want to do a pre-order, you could make my Kindle ebook available for pre-order. However, I do not want to go through that step today. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm ready to release my book now so we can go through this process. Release my book now. I'm going to do save and continue. Alright, so ebook content. Here is where you are going to upload your manuscript. We're going to do upload manuscript. We're on our desktop. Here we go. I'm going to want to do KPF. Manuscript was successful, so it's going to take a few minutes for it to process. I do want to apply digital rights management. Now down here for your Kindle ebook cover, if you do not have a cover already, you could go through the process of launching the cover creator. I, however, have a wonderful artist who does my covers, and I'm going to go ahead and upload that cover now, and a success. Again, this is going to take a minute for it to finish processing. While it is doing that, we'll continue continue on with this page. You would answer these questions as apply to you, your book, and your cover. However, I know that my cover artist did not use any AI, nor did I, so I'm going to put no. Ebook preview. This will come up once it finishes uploading. If you have an ISBN number, you could go ahead and put that in here, as well as your publisher if you have one. If not, you can leave this blank, and you would fill in these as well as they apply to your book. Okay, we're going to come back up here. Our book is ready to be launched in the previewer. We found 3 possible spelling errors. Well, you know what? I tend to have a lot of fantasy terms in my books. That's going to be flagged anyway, so we are going to launch this and get a preview of our beautiful ebook. Oh, there she is. Isn't she gorgeous? Take a moment and pat yourself on the back if you've gotten to this point. Okay, I'm loving how everything is looking. Very, very nice. And again, just like in KDP for previewing, we have the horizontal and vertical versions, tablet, phone, and e-reader. I do want to take a look at the phone because I know a lot of people read on their phone. Looking great. Oh my goodness, she looks so good. Looks so good. Awesome. I do want to skip to the end just so I can make sure that everything looks good back there. So I'm just going to copy that number and go there. Okay, that's to be expected. Let's see what the tablet's showing. Yes, very nice, very nice. Okay, so I approve of the way the ebook looks on the formats. So I'm going to go back. We're back on the page we were. We have now previewed our book, and we're going to finish by clicking and confirming that we like everything. Moving on to the next page is pricing. All right. For the first one, this is enrollment into KDP Select. This would give you a 90-day promotion, accessing Kindle Unlimited, all that. I'm not going to go through that in this video. Next, we have all territories. Go ahead and do that if you want or not. Primary marketplace, we already selected Amazon.com. Here is your royalty section and pricing. So if you don't know how this works, you can click this and learn a little bit more about pricing your book. Familiarize yourself with their account. If you put your book for 99 cents or less, you will automatically put in the 35%. You cannot earn 70% of 99 cents. However, I put our books above that, so I'm going to go ahead and do the 70. Type in the price that you wish for your book, which at this time I forget what price I usually set these at. I'm just going to come back here and I have them listed for $5.99. So I'm going to go ahead and $99 for our ebook, and this is going to go ahead and give you a list of the rates, royalty, and show you what you would be earning from all other countries that Amazon sells in as well. Coming down to terms and conditions, your book can take up to 72 hours to make sure that the title is available and for purchase on Amazon. However, I usually get it back within about 24 to 48 hours during a work week. If you have a lot of extra stuff within your manuscript, like images or things like that, go ahead and give yourself a little extra time. Also, any trigger warnings that get listed will take it longer to process because they're going to want to make sure that everything is okay with your book and the audience that it goes out to. But since I don't have that in this one, we're good to just go ahead and hit publish. And again, it would bring you here to congratulations. And if you're ready to go ahead and move into setting up your paperback, you could do that now or come back to it later. So we are done. Congratulations on publishing your first ebook or your ebook book. And we are done. Congratulations for getting this far, formatting and publishing your ebook. That's going to do it for us today. And as always, don't stop learning and never stop dreaming.